Today's reading is Karma Means Action. Actually, I really like this one because this class, I've always run it as a karma class. Karma is we're building up good deeds to come back to, So this has been a free class that I've offered throughout my years here. And so I'm building up karma, and the karma that's coming back to me through that has been amazing. So I must thank everybody for supporting me all this time. Karma means action. Every action you take sets into motion a chain of events. No matter how big or small an action it is, it has an effect, from brushing your teeth to making a difficult phone call, from making a big life change to simply walking a different way to work. The Sanskrit word karma means action and is used to indicate the process of cause and effect. Although you cannot predict exactly what will happen as a result of an action you take, because life also involves chance and serendipity, if you thoughtfully take action toward a particular goal, you increase your odds of receiving a particular outcome. As you move through your day to day, seek to be deliberate in the actions you take, yet open to aligning with their outcomes. Seated comfortably. Your hands can be on your knees, shoulder blades on your back. Lift your head towards the ceiling, taking a deep breath. Settle yourself on your mat. Turn to your breath. Feel your breath as it moves in and out through your nostrils. Listen to the sound of it whistling through the back of your throat. Come back to your breath throughout the class. This is your grounding effect. Bringing hands to heart center, please join me. We'll open the class with an Om. So take a clearing breath and then inhale to Om. Inhaling to Om. Releasing your hands. Turning our neck side to side. Try to look a little further over your shoulder every time you come around. Moving with your own breath. Add a forward neck roll. And coming back to center, take your left hand to the crown of your head, gently pulling ear to shoulder. Opposite hand can walk away. Slowly tucking your chin. And feel that change the focus of the stretch in your neck. And release. We'll move to the other side. Right hand pulling ear to shoulder. Left hand walking away from your torso. And slowly tucking chin to chest. And release. Left arm comes across your body. Right hand can pull your shoulder across and down. And release. We'll change to the other side. And release. Reaching up with your left arm, stretching your left side body. Take your vision, looking up underneath your elbow, looking up towards the ceiling. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, reaching with your other arm. Gaze towards the ceiling. Check in with your left shoulder. See that you've relaxed that shoulder. Inhale, coming up. Left hand comes to right knee. Right hand moves behind you. Inhale for spinal extension. And exhale to deepen the twist as you look behind you. Releasing on an exhale, move to the other side. Leaving your hand on your knee, raise your left arm up and stretch that one towards the ceiling, towards the window. And exhale, we'll switch sides. Inhale, up. Coming on to hands and knees. Tuck your toes. Hands are directly below your shoulders. Fingers spread wide. Inhale, lifting your hips and lifting your chin, looking up to the ceiling. Exhale, arch your back. Draw your belly button towards your spine. Inhale to cow. Exhale back to cat. And continue moving through these two shapes with your own breath. Coming back to center. Inhale, looking over your left shoulder. Exhale to center. Inhale to look over the right shoulder. And again, continue these shapes with your own breath. Coming back to center. Walk your hands forward. And we're going to keep your toes tucked. Sink your hips back towards your heels. Lift your palms off the mat. So we've got our fingers tented here. Our palms are tented. And feel that intensify the stretch between your shoulder blades and underneath your arms. Inhale, coming up. Walk your hands off the mat to the left. And sink down again. Feeling that stretch in your right side body. Inhale, coming up. Walk across to the right. And come back down. Lining up your ears between your upper arms. Inhale up, walking back to center. Take your hands forward. Fingers are spread wide. Let's just come forward as if you're coming down to the mat. And back. Forward. And back. So moving from puppy to cobra and back again. Then lifting your hips, move into downward facing dog. Walk it out, bending one knee at a time. Dropping the opposite heel towards the mat. Now straighten both legs. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Come up on your tiptoes. Stretch it out. Sink your head back between your shoulders. Now slowly lower your heels towards the mat. Take your attention to your hands. Ensure that you're distributing your weight evenly into all four corners of the palms, even pushing into your fingertips. On the next exhale, bend your knees and walk to the front of the mat to a forward fold. Keeping your knees bent, rest your lower ribs on your thighs. Grasp opposite elbows and dangle here, allowing gravity to extend your spine longer towards the floor. Releasing your elbows, keeping a deep bend in your knees, slowly come up to standing, stacking one vertebrae at a time. Shoulder blades on your back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, up. And exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, plant your hands and step back to plank. So you're going to hold plank for 4 or 5 breaths. Ensure that your hips are in line with your shoulders and your ankles. So in one nice long line. It can be in full plank or knees plank. Keeping your leg muscles fully engaged here will help. Tucking your elbows close to your lower ribs. Slowly come down through chaturanga to the mat. Feet come long on the mat. Inhale up to baby cobra. And exhale back to the mat. Tuck your toes and push up through chaturanga to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts for the ceiling and step it forward, coming all the way to the front of the mat. We've got a long stance here. Your toes are lined up with your fingertips. Drop your left heel at a 45-degree angle, and then strengthening your right leg, let's come up to warrior one. Bending further into your knee. Left leg is straight and strong. Arms are reaching for the ceiling. Your gaze is up at the ceiling between your palms. And exhale, hands back down to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches for the ceiling. And step that one forward, bringing it all the way to the front of the mat, lining up your toes with your fingertips. Inhale, arms up. Warrior one. Sink down into your bent knee. Check in with your back foot. See that you're distributing your weight evenly on the inside and the outside of your foot. And exhale, hands back to the mat and stepping back to downward facing dog. Next, exhale, bend your knees and come down to the mat. We're going to move into child's pose. So feet are flat on the floor. Hips are back to your heels. Knees can be spread a little bit apart, allowing your head room to come down for putting your forehead on the mat. And your arms are reaching above you, laying flat on the mat above you. This is our resting pose. Feel free to come back to child's pose at any time during the practice. Inhale, coming up to hands and knees. Step your hands forward, tuck your toes, lift your hips into downward facing dog. I'm going to roll over the right side of your mat or use your knee pad here if you have one. Inhale, right leg lifts to the ceiling and steps forward. I did the wrong one. Okay, so we're going to go back to downward facing dog. Roll over the left side of your mat. Inhale, right foot up and step forward with the right foot. So get a really nice long stance here, really long lunge, and drop your knee down to your padded mat or your knee pad. And so you want to sort of be resting at the top of your kneecap. So you've got a super long stance here. Climbing up onto your right knee, moving into crescent moon. So arms up and back, pushing into your right heel. You should be feeling this pretty strongly in your left quadricep. Good, 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 good. And exhale, coming back down. Lift your mat, lift your knee, move your mat out of the way, And step back to downward facing dog. Okay, I'm going to roll over the right side of our mat this time. Am I doing this right? I don't know. Okay, lifting our left leg up and swoop that forward. Do whatever it takes to get those toes up, level with your fingertips. Scoot your right foot back. Now keeping your toes tucked here. That'll keep your hips in alignment. And climbing up onto your left knee. Inhale, arms up. Pushing into that left heel and really sinking down into your right thigh. Exhale, coming back to the mat, shift it out of the way, and step back to downward facing dog. At the bottom of your next exhale, bend your knees and step or jump to the front of the mat to a forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to forward fold. Engaging your leg muscles. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Coming up to standing. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, up. And exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, plant your hands and step or jump back to plank. Moving into downward facing dog. From here, we're going to move into warrior two. So lifting your right leg up, stretch it up as high as you can, then bending both knees, arch your back, step to the front. Left foot is going to move to a 90-degree angle and then windmill arms up into warrior two. So let's check on our alignment. Your right heel should line up with the instep of your left foot. And you're bending into your right knee. Check that you can see your big toe. So your knee is straight, not coming into the left. Check that your knee is over top of your ankle. Checking in with our left leg. See if you can spread the weight on the outer edge as well as the inner edge of your foot. Shoulder blades on your back. You can do that by bringing palms to the ceiling and then rotating wrists. Palms are facing down and keeping your shoulder blades where they are. Keep your gaze extended over your right fingertips. And bend a little deeper into your right knee. Exhale, hands to waist, straighten your right knee, and let's rotate over to the opposite side. It's easier in bare feet. So hands reaching out forward and back. Again, check on all your cues. See if you can sink a little deeper into your bent knee. Inhale, coming up to standing, hands to waist. Rotate to turn to face the front of the room again, and we'll come back down to the mat. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts for the ceiling and steps to the front of the mat. Left foot is at a 45-degree angle. Coming up to standing, we've got a moderate stance here. Align your torso and hips to the front of the room, and then hinging at the hip crease, leading with your heart, coming forward over your extended foot. Hands can drop to either side of your right heel. Pushing your fingertips into the mat. Inhale up for a half lift, and exhale, pushing into your fingertips, coming down, drawing your forehead closer to your shin. Inhale, bend your knee, bring your hands to your waist, step forward with your left foot and back with your right. Move into pyramid on the opposite side. So once again, square hips and shoulders to the front, leading with your heart, leaning forward, coming over your outstretched leg. Dropping hands to the mat or your blocks, coming to a forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, pushing into your fingertips, drawing your forehead closer to your shin. Bending your knee, hands to waist. And come back, hands back down to the mat. Let's step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts for the ceiling. Lift it up, stretch it as high as you can. Stack your right hip above your left hip. Bend your knee, dropping your heel towards your bum. Really opening up that right knee, sending it up towards the ceiling. And shifting your weight to the left hand, slowly rotate your left foot and drop the right foot down to the side, coming into Wild Thing. Lift your hips and lift your gaze to the ceiling. Exhale, turning back to the mat. Come back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up, stretches up as high as you can. Stack your left hip on top of your right hip. Bend your knee, drop your heel towards your bum. Reach that knee up to the ceiling. And when you're ready, shift the weight to the right hand and come into Wild Thing. Trying to lift your hips here. And exhale, turning back to center. Bend both knees and come into child's pose. Make sure that your forehead is supported here. Inhale, coming up to hands and knees. Tuck your toes, Walk your hands slightly forward and lift hips, moving into downward facing dog. We're going to move into lizard. So inhale, right leg lifting to the sky. And this time when you bring your right foot forward, bring it to the outside of your right hand. So step forward, drawing your foot to the outside of the mat, level with your right hand. Turn your knee out to the side. So you're going to be resting that right foot on the right side edge at a 45-degree angle. You can drop your left knee. Let's start with our left knee drop to get into the, just getting into the position and feeling that opening in your hip. Breathe into your hip. Keeping your left toes tucked will help to keep both hips in alignment. And when you're ready, lifting your left knee. And let's walk down to our elbows, if possible. Again, you can have it modified by dropping your knee down to the mat, finding your position here, breathing into that hip as you open your knee out to the right. And when you're relaxed a little bit into the posture, then try lifting your knee again. Exhale, drop your knee, walking up to your hands, and draw that foot back to meet your left knee. So from hands and knees here, come up into downward facing dog. You do lizard on the opposite side, so lifting your left knee up as high as you can. Step that foot to the outside of your mat. Drop your right knee. Now let your left knee drop to the side as you balance your foot on the left or the outside edge of your foot. When you're feeling comfortable with that opening, lift your knee. Again, we can move down to our elbows. If you choose to, you can drop your right knee first, moving down to your elbows. Feeling that additional stretch and opening in your left hip. Breathing into it. When you're ready, lift your right knee. So that left knee should be splayed out wide to the side. Exhale, dropping your right knee. Come up onto your hands and take your left knee back to meet your opposite knee. Coming back into child's pose. Wide leg child's pose. Sink your ribs down towards the mat and drop your forehead onto the mat or your crossed hands or the block. Inhale, coming up to hands and knees. Tuck your toes, step your hands forward, and lift up into downward facing dog. We're going to move into pigeon. So inhale, right leg lifting up, and this time we're going to draw your right knee to your right wrist. Crossing your lower leg underneath your abdomen. Now wriggle your little left toes back so we create as large an opening as you can. Keep your toes tucked on your left foot. And try to see that both hips are aligned. So you're not leaning over to the right. Both hips are aligned over top of your right foot. Walk it down to your elbows and breathe into that opening. You might be feeling a little stretch here. No? Because okay. Because if I heard no, we're going to change it. A lot. So breathe into that. Consciously relax those muscles that are feeling this stretch. Taking deep breaths, sending your breath to heat up those muscles. Allow your body to relax. And then just when your body thinks it might be safe, we're going to walk it out further. Walk your elbows forward and drop your forehead down to the mat. Inhale, coming up to your elbows. Walk onto your hands and step back to downward facing dog. Walk it out. Inhale, left leg up. Stretch it up as high as you can and then swoop that left knee forward to meet your left wrist. Okay, so your left foot is crossed underneath your abdomen. Use your right toes and wriggle that right knee back further. Walking down onto your elbows. Breathing into that stretch. When you're ready, walk your hands forward, bringing your chest and your forehead down to the mat. Inhale, lifting your head, walk yourself back up onto your hands, and shift back to downward facing dog. Walk it out. Bottom of your next breath, bend your knees and step or jump to the front of the mat. Inhaling to half lift. Exhaling to forward fold. Inhale, engage your leg muscles and your abdomen and come up, reaching up through reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands through heart center. Let's step wide on the mat. I'm going to move into a wide-legged forward fold. So heels are in, toes are out. Nice wide stance here. Hands to your waist. Now check in with your feet. Make sure you're distributing the weight on the outside edges as well as the inside edges of your feet. Reaching forward with your heart, hinging at the hip crease. Come into a forward fold. Hands are below your shoulders. Inhale up to a flat back. Exhale, pushing into your fingertips, walking your hands between your legs, lining up fingertips and toes. Pushing into your fingertips, see if you can draw your head closer to the mat. Maybe bringing the crown of your head down to the mat, lining up head, fingertips, and toes. Inhale, walking it up, coming to a flat back, looking forward. And exhale, heel toe 2 or 3 times. Bend your knees and bring hands to waist, coming up to standing. Taking a deep breath. So now heels are in, toes are out. We've got a moderate stance. We're going to move into goddess. So raising your arms into cactus arms. We're going to go into a squat, tracking your knees out over your toes. So widen out your knees and squat as though there's a wall right behind you. Tuck your pelvis so your butt's not sticking out behind you. And deepen into the knees. Inhale up, hands to waist. Take a couple of breaths here. We're going to go back down. Inhale, hands to cactus arms. Tracking knees outwards. Tuck your pelvis. Draw your shoulder blades back. See if you can feel that wall behind you. And inhale up, hands to waist. Heel toe coming into the center. And let's come down to a squat. You can use your hands. Find out where your squat is comfortable to keep your heels on the floor. Drawing your elbows in between your knees. Push your elbows. Bring your hands, palms together. Pushing your elbows into your knees. And finding a comfortable squat. This could be someday a place where you could sit comfortably for half an hour or more, really. People used to do this. The goal here is getting your heels to the floor. So we're building up flexibility in our ankles, waking up muscles that we're not used to using. Drawing your ribs forward, drawing your heart forward, and breathing. Well done. Bringing hands to the floor in front of you. Come up on your tiptoes, and we're going to move into crow. So tucking your knees in to your armpits, resting your knees on your bent arms. Lift one foot at a time, moving into crow, our forearm balance. Beautiful. Fantastic. Okay, so we're getting stronger here, you guys. Okay, coming down to the mat. Come on to hands and knees. Or just tucking your toes. We're going to sit back on your heels with your toes tucked. If your toes can handle that, or your knees. Now coming up right off the mat, just come into a toe stand. So get your balance here. And when you're feeling balanced, raise your hands to heart center. You're utilizing a whole bunch of all those little muscles in your feet here to maintain your balance. Keeping your gaze on one spot, on the floor in front of you will help. And exhale, hands to the floor. Come up on your knees, flatten your feet, and just tap your feet, tops of your feet on the mat, letting go of any built up tension. Okay, so coming back to the mat, let's move into downward facing dog. Next exhale, bend your knees and step or jump to the front of the mat. Forward fold, inhale to half lift. Exhale to forward fold. And put a bend in your knees and inhale, coming up, stacking your back slowly, coming up to standing. You can move off your mat for this next balance. We'll move into tree. So putting your weight in your right foot, draw your left knee out to the side. This might be your position for tree today. You could draw your heel in, keeping your toes on the floor, or bring your foot to your shin, or all the way up to your thigh, taking care not to put any pressure directly on the knee joint. Hands can come to heart center. Again, keeping your eyes on one spot, one unmoving spot on the floor will help with your balance. When you're ready, inhale, arms coming up, growing your branches, and take your gaze up to the ceiling, possibly touching fingertips and thumb tips into a lotus mudra and looking up through the space you've created. And exhale, hands through heart center. Coming out of that, walk it out. And move to the other side. So foot comes out to the side, and then move your foot to whatever version of tree suits your practice today. Hands in Anjali Mudra. Breathing, sending down your roots. When you're ready, grow your branches. And exhale, coming out of tree. And let's just come down to the mat now. Come to seated. So we've really worked on opening our hips up. So we'll just do a little bit more work on our hips, on hip openers. So let's take your left leg, grasping your knee and your foot. Draw great big circles with your knee. Move it around the other way. Now check in. Let's just forget about that one for a minute. Lower leg, which would be your right foot, draw that shin out towards the front of the mat. Okay, so you're crossing your shin in front of you. You're going to lift the left leg, drop that ankle onto the knee. So your legs have created a nice triangle here. So make sure that that bottom foot is slid forward towards the front. Or it can be extending all the way forward if we need to. Okay. So if you've got your knee, ankle on your knee, maybe press, taking both hands to your raised knee and just getting a little slight bit of pressure there. Okay, releasing that. Hands back. Let's change so that that upper foot is now lower. Shin is parallel to the front edge of your mat. Let's take this leg and draw some big circles with your knee. Changing directions, we're lubricating the hip joint. And when you're ready, draw that ankle towards your knee, creating a nice big triangle with your legs. And breathing into that stretch. Again, breathe into it. And you feel yourself letting go a little bit more. Pressing both hands into the upper knee. Intensifying the stretch. Excellent. Now that was fire log. So untangle your knees. Let's come forward. Inhale up and stretch out over your legs, reaching for your feet, your shins, or your strap. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, bending your elbows outwards. Draw your forehead closer to your shins. And release. Uncurl your back, drawing your feet into center. Wrap both hands around your toes, Baddha Konasana, and allow your knees to just gently come up and down. Releasing your foot. Let's tuck your right foot in close to your groin. We're going to take your left foot and bring that up. So we're going into half lotus. See if you can draw that left foot up onto your thigh. No, and that's okay. So do whatever you can. Let's release that, and we'll try it on the other side. Drawing your bottom foot close to your groin. Left foot, maybe just loosen it up a bit before pulling that heel in towards your chest, or in towards your waist. Top of your foot rests on your thigh. Okay, half lotus, girls and guys, we're doing awesome. If anyone wants to try for full lotus, we can try. We've really opened up our hips today. So if you want to try for full lotus, just pull that other foot on top so you're crossing your ankles over. Okay, I'm not seeing a lot of takers today, so we're not going to go there. Okay, but now that I've done it on one side, as I always tell you, you have to do it on the other side, right? So which way I did that way, now I have to go this way. So we always want to work both sides of our body evenly. And if you ever get here, this is a good one to practice in the hot tub. Because then you can just float like this and you're just like, oh, I'm flying, I'm levitating. It's very cool. Okay, so let's let that one go. Feet out, walk it out, and then draw your feet into Baddha Konasana again. And just allowing your knees coming up and down. And breathe and say, oh, we're moving to Shavasana now. Do I see some smiles? Yeah? Coming long on your mat. Okay, adjust the fleshy parts of your thighs so you're Establishing a firm foundation. Heels are pushing forward, toes are reaching towards your back. To your face, I mean, your back. Inhale up, engaging your abdominals, reaching your arms out forward. Slowly lower yourself down to the mat. Coming down, tiny little bit at a time, no collapsing. Go slower. Slow it down. I don't make you do crunches, but I do this. Keep your heels on the mat and breathe. When you reach the floor, stretch your arms out. Bringing hands to your sides, bend both knees, lift your feet up towards the ceiling. Grasp the outside edges of your feet and pull your knees down into your armpits in happy baby. Releasing your feet, drop your right foot to the floor, left foot crosses over your knee. Now lift your right foot again, grasp around both hands around your right thigh in figure 4 or reclined pigeon. Use your left elbow to lever against your left knee, intensifying the stretch here. Releasing on an exhale, which will switch sides. Left foot crosses over, or right foot crossing over left knee. And clasp your hands around your left thigh. Pushing right elbow against your knee. Opening up that knee to the side, intensifying the stretch. And release. Draw both knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your knees, grasping opposite elbows. Squeeze your nose towards your knees. Give yourself a great big hug. And then release your arms. Drop both knees to the left. Take left hand to your right knee. And then take your gaze out over your right shoulder. So both shoulder blades are back on the mat and you're in a deep reclined twist. Releasing your knee, draw your knees through center, dropping them to the right. Bring your right hand to your left knee. And take your gaze out over your left shoulder. And inhale, coming back to center. One last little squeeze before stretching out long on the floor. Feet can splay out to the sides. Arms are slightly away from your sides. Palms facing the ceiling. Take whatever little adjustments you might need to become comfortable on your mat as we move into Shavasana, our final pose for the day. Taking a deep breath. Fill your lungs. And exhale completely, getting rid of all the stale air, allowing room for fresh oxygen to enter your body and replenish your blood. Allow your breathing to find its natural rhythm. And feel yourself breathing in calm with every inhale and relaxing further with every exhale. Feel your mat supporting you. Feel the earth beneath you. Slowly coming back to the room, taking small movements, wriggling your fingers and toes, rotate wrists and ankles, and bend one knee at a time, rolling to the right, staying there for a couple of breaths before coming up to seated. Coming up slowly. Reach your hands behind you, and we'll change the cross of our legs to the unaccustomed side. And back to seated, hands in Anjali Mudra, eyes closed. Take a moment to check in with your body and just noticing, simply notice how you feel. As we move forward through our day, keep in mind karma and the results of our actions and how they reverberate forward into the future, and also how these can reverberate back to us in the form of blessings. Namaste. Thank you so very much for joining me. Namaste, 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 everybody. Namaste.